Hi, I'm Scott Kinville, and this is Small Town Life right here on the Studio 25 Podcast Network. You know, spring is here, summer will be right around the corner, and big things are happening down here in Little Falls. And with us today is a gentleman who's going to be a big part of all that. But before I bring him in, I, of course, want to bring in my sidekick, my producer, my pal, Dave Six-String Warner.
We got a new nickname.
Well, because we have to tailor it to our themes for the show, see?
Okay, I see that. You know, Six String. I like that one too. Yesterday I was Stitch.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's all good.
You know, pretty soon you're going to show up here wearing a leather jacket or something.
I could do that, you know, if that's what we need.
Fonzie. Yeah. Fonzie Warner over here. But anyways, like I said, we've got a lot of things coming here to Little Falls, and one of the big ones is going to be put on by the gentleman that's joined us today. He is the owner of Rock Valley Brewing, Mr. Mike George. Mike, how are you?
How you doing this morning?
I am doing great. You know, listening to your promo work, you know, getting very excited for what's going to go on this summer. So how are things over at the brewery?
They're great. And let me start off by saying, gentlemen, you're being generous, my friend.
Well, you know, hey, that's what we do around here, you know?
Yeah. Well, like a lot of other area businesses this year, we kind of got off to a slow start. You know, winter was tough on everyone.
Sure was.
Unless you sold snowmobiles or did snow plowing. So, but that's okay. We embraced the down year. We look at some things that we can do differently this year to do better. Rock Valley Music Festival 2025 is one of them. We brought 3 great bands on this year. We actually shortened the duration of the concert by a little bit. Last year we started out with some acoustic music, and the reception of that wasn't so great. So we condensed it into just the 3 bands and 9 hours of music. Plus we have local food vendors coming, and of course craft beer, New York State wines, hard cider.
So it's not going to be just Rock Valley products.
Oh no. We carry products from a number of vendors throughout New York State.
Yeah, that's awesome because, you know, you go in and you get that variety, you know, and that's, you know, every time I'm over at your brewery, I'm like, okay, what's he got new up there now? So, I had my favorites.
We try to keep
Don't
the
get me wrong,
turning.
as you saw the other night, but that's
Were you on the floor the other night?
I wasn't on the floor. Close. I got about halfway.
Yeah.
What happens there stays there.
That's right. We don't need to further discuss that.
What happens at Rock Valley Brewing stays at Rock Valley Brewing.
Yeah.
All right, got it.
Most of the time. So tell us a little bit more about this festival you got coming up, because I mean it went over well last year. People loved it, and you know you're bringing it back. So when is it?
Okay, so it's May 17th, which is a Saturday. God willing, the weather's going to be great. We've been very, very fortunate the past 2 years that we've held the festival. I have faith it's going to be a great day. Our staff is very involved in it. We have a number of volunteers that will be helping us out as well. The bands that we're working with this year, we have a relationship with already. The bands are fantastic. Our sound and light guys are, they've done a great job for us in years past. So it looks to be a lot of fun, like it's been in the past.
Awesome. So indoors and outdoors?
Indoors and outdoors, yes. If you've never been to our place before, we will be closing a section of Mill Street down, and we have a stage we're going to set up outside next to one of our food trucks. So we'll have all of the bands outside, weather permitting, but we also have our large indoor tap room and then our smaller brick tap room. So there's plenty of room there for people to wander around throughout the day, grab a bite to eat, sit down, relax, yet still go outside, listen to the music comfortably. We also have an outdoor beer garden that overlooks the Mohawk River here. So,
and we can run some footage of that. Maybe the commercial that we're working on for them for the festival. We can insert that right about here, Scott. And so people will be able to see it.
I love that idea.
Yeah, I was just thinking of it as we were sitting here.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, 6 strings right on it. You know?
Get ready, Little Falls. On May 17th, 2025, the Rock Valley Music Festival is back at Rock Valley Brewing Company in historic Canal Place. From 2 to 11 p.m., enjoy live local music that'll get your heart pumping, delicious food from top vendors, and the best New York State craft beer around. It's a day of rock, flavor, and good vibes. Bring the whole family. Kids 12 and under get in free, and soak up the energy of our tight-knit community. Just $10 at the gate gets you in on the action. Mark your calendars for May 17th and join us for an unforgettable day in Little Falls. music, food, beer, and you. Let's make it loud. Rock Valley Music Festival. We'll see you there. I want to see Dave on that stage.
I think, you know what? I got an idea. Let's get him some Rock Valley products that day, and we'll see what happens by about 8 o'clock. How's that?
Yeah, I'm game.
Debut of Dave's 6-string Warner.
You know, Mike, we were at the Harlem Wizards game. I was telling you pre-show here last night, Scott and I. And they did involve me in the festivities at some level.
As
and I'm carrying the camera thinking, okay, they're going to ask me to be shooting baskets any second here. My nickname for the night, Scott, would have been?
Brick.
Brick. All righty. We're off the rails again.
But yeah, May 17th. What time is it starting?
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
Open at 2.
And we're just going to basically go until, 9 hours, you said, right?
Yeah, it's going to run till about 11 o'clock.
Yeah, because the brewery, you're open, you're open up at 3 o'clock on normal business hours, and you usually close right around 10.
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, we find those are good times. I mean, let's face it, we aren't getting any younger here. So.
That is true. This is very true.
Speak for yourself, Kimosabe.
Yeah. All right, there's 6-string. So we
time travel over here.
When we opened up 4 years ago, that was part of the plan. We're most of your craft breweries, microbreweries, are not like a typical bar scene where you're open till 2 in the morning. And I'll be honest with you, I don't really want to do that crap anymore anyway.
Oh yeah, God, who could?
Those days are gone.
That's tough.
So closing at 10 o'clock or shortly after, depending on the crowd. It's a good opportunity for us to get things cleaned up, get out of there at a reasonable hour. No one is grumpy the next day.
At least you hope.
The bands really like it. The sound guys, light guys really like it. Our staff appreciates it, and our customers appreciate it too. I mean, we're at the age, most of our customers are at the age where we all have families, and it's nice to be able to get home at a reasonable hour, spend a little time with them, rather than walking in the door at 3 a.m.
Yeah,
if you're lucky.
If you're lucky.
yeah.
So tell me, Mike, where did the idea to start having this festival come from?
So the idea actually came from a friend of mine, Mark Regan, who owns the Powerhouse property across the street. Now, we get a lot of questions about this. What's going on with the Powerhouse? I'll give you his cell phone number at the end of the podcast. You can call him directly.
No.
Well,
and if you're watching,
Dave's probably going to be the first one that gets a call about that, but that's okay.
Yeah, let's not go there.
And Mark, if you're watching, you're welcome, pal. So Mark approached me a few years ago and had the idea. He has a party at his house for his birthday every year. And came to me and he said, Michael, what do we have to do to get a band down here and have some of your patrons listen to the music while they drink your beer? So I said, let's...
That was such a good impression.
So I said, well, we'd have to get a permit to shut the street down. And I said, how many people are you thinking? Maybe 40, 50. We had a few more than that.
Put a zero, maybe a couple in there.
Yeah, we had 4 more.
Yeah.
How many? There was a lot. It was thousands, right?
It was a considerable amount.
Yeah. Oh, we're not supposed to say.
We'll leave it at that.
All right. That permit didn't cover that. All right.
So, enough of that. All right, it's time to unplug 6-string over here.
Shut his amp off.
Yeah.
I'm the only one that can push the mute button.
The gong show, remember that?
Oh, jeez. God. Well, Mike was bringing in a bubble machine to start with. I mean, I had to kill that.
He does kind of remind me of Mean Gene the Dancing Machine,
He does.
Yeah.
So anyway, yes, the ultimate brainchild of this, I have to give him credit, was Mark Regan. The first year was a great success. We had some corporate sponsors for the event. We wanted to see how it would go off initially. We brought in 3 acts, I believe, that first year. One was a larger band from the Albany area, and
that was great.
It was fantastic.
Yeah, I can run some footage of that too. I think I've got some of that.
I don't think I've been that tired in a long time when that was done. I was wiped out. But we had a blast, and it's amazing how the community pitched in, helped us out with things, and participated. So I'm very, very thankful for that again. So we carried it on last year with even more success, and we hope for it to be even bigger this year.
So who you got coming this year?
So this year we have 3 local bands. The first one is the Valley Rockers, which includes
Yep,
Rich Morocco.
Oh, yeah. That is a Little Falls legend right there.
Yeah, they've got a hell of a following too.
Yeah.
I mean, if you open something up with those guys, they're great.
Well, Rich has played in the Little Falls area and beyond for years and years and years.
Jab,
and his brother Roger. So, again, a cult following.
Oh, yeah,
Rich
for sure.
Yeah.
So, and I think everybody loves his stage antics, too.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big part of the show.
Well, his band's trailers, his old Morocco's pizza trailer.
yeah.
So everybody's hungry now, too. So there you go.
Well, a lot of us, how many of us grew up going there for lunch during school?
Yeah, right.
So, the second band is from the Johnstown to Albany area. They're called the Ultimates. They actually played at our place last year, more or less by mistake. We had an event that was canceled last minute, and they were scheduled to play it. And we didn't have a backup band, so I asked them to stay to play, and they did. And I was absolutely blown away. We have so many good bands throughout the valley here that come in and play. It's hard for me to pick favorites, but I will definitely say they are probably in the top 5.
Wow.
Which is one of the reasons we chose
And
them.
you get a lot of music there, so that's good words for them coming from you.
I was very, very impressed at their quality of music, their song selection, and how well the music was played. So I know they do a lot, like I said, the Johnstown area, Caroga Lake, so hopefully we can bring some of those folks that maybe haven't been to our place before and get them to Little Falls and show them what we have to offer here in this little rocky city.
Yeah.
Rocky City.
So the third band is Utica area based. It's Dubonnet Live. They've been playing the live scene for 25 to 30-ish years.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
They're fronted by a woman, Andrea Dubonnet, who is another one that absolutely blew me away. The first time we had them at the brewery, again, the song selection was amazing. The attitude and just general presence on stage, just you have to see them.
Wow.
Yeah. But I'll tell you, it sounds like this is going to be an awesome time because you got 3 great acts back to back to back.
Yes.
So there's going to be no break for anybody from the rock and roll. This is going to be amazing.
No. I mean, we'll have a short intermission in between where we'll have recorded music on just while we're switching bands out. But other than that, no.
Give people a chance to eat too.
Oh yeah, go in, grab a beer, grab a burger or whatever.
So you got to speak about the food though. What have you got for food?
We're still confirming a couple of our food vendors. Obviously, we're going to have our own food truck there, Rock Valley Eats. We also have Steve from Break from the Grind coming. Who else? We have the Little Falls Co-op will be there with a variety of snacks. We have a couple other vendors that we're waiting on confirmation.
So some good food.
Oh yeah. Good variety.
Yeah.
And what we try to do with our food vendors is not overlap. Excuse me. We don't want to have one or two food vendors that are serving, similar products. So try to break it up a little bit, and again, just kind of showcase some of the stuff that's out there.
Oh, that makes perfect sense too. And you did say it was rain or shine.
Yes, rain or shine.
Yeah. So
because you got that stage.
Mother Nature will not bring us down.
Little rain won't hurt us.
Right, exactly.
I mean, if it snos, that's a different story.
Well, hey,
hopefully by mid-May we're out of the.
I was just going to say.
Yeah.
This winter though, I don't count on that yet. Just, but you know what? I'm going to ask the question that everybody wants to know. Now,
You caught that. Wait a minute.
now. Mr. Mike George is known to be rather musically talented himself. So will Mike George begin up on stage?
Yeah.
Probably not, Scott. Probably not.
That's so funny.
No, I seriously, I heard that. I heard you're a heck of a guitar player.
I have been known to pick up an electric guitar here and there.
But that is after a couple of beers, is what I have witnessed.
Used to be a lot of beers.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, there's going to be plenty of that there the 17th. So
There will.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I have to be owner, Mike. I have to be responsible. So
I didn't recognize you without the glasses. It's like Clark Kent.
That was awesome. Yeah.
no Superman here. So.
I was talking to Don Johnson for a second. I was like, waiting for the Miami Vice theme song to come on.
Oh, Q.
So yes, part of what we do there, the live music does stem from my love of music in the past. I was in a couple of bands in my youth, had a lot of fun. We had a blast. We had an absolute blast with it, and I get the best parts of it now. I do get to go up and sing with the bands occasionally, and then I get to leave. I don't have to clean anything up. I don't have to carry anything out. It's great.
And the groupies still follow you.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
He might have to have that edited out afterwards, but that's okay.
Yeah. I figured that. That's why I said it.
So who were your big influences when you were growing up?
Musically or
Yeah,
overall?
musically.
Well,
Favorite bands.
Okay, favorite bands. Well, hands down, Van Halen. Eddie
There you
Van
go.
Halen was by far my favorite guitarist of all time.
Yeah.
Now, going with Van Halen, is it Sammy or Dave?
There's 4 things you don't discuss in a bar: money, politics, religion, and Sammy or Dave. So we're going to leave it at that.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I liked them both. I just always thought that Van Halen was Dave. But anyways, that's whatever. They were great in both versions. I thought. Anyways.
Yes, they had so many great hits. I loved growing up with that music, and still to this day drive people nuts with my love of old Van Halen songs.
Yeah. Yeah, like the Dave Van Halen was more like raw, and then they kind of became more refined when Sammy came aboard.
Oh, absolutely.
But, that's what we should have called him. David Lee
Diamond
Roth.
Dave.
Yeah.
David. Oh, yeah. Right.
David Lee
Let's hear
Warner.
a Diamond Dave scream.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Call 911.
Oh, the rails are just
Oh,
so
yeah.
Running with the David.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
There it is.
See, what Mike doesn't know is that I did work at an album-oriented rock station.
Really?
TK 102, home of the Gulf Coast's best rock and roll.
There you go.
That was it.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. So, and I played that stuff all the time.
You ever...
No. Have you seen these stubby hands? I mean, seriously? I don't. That's why I don't play basketball. I mean, I can't grip the lines on the ball.
thought those were Vienna sausages.
Yeah, right. That's what I thought too.
That's what
you
one
just
of-
pull those out of the can. I mean, what is that?
Yeah, but it's the feet that count.
I got a great idea
I
though.
don't know that. That's,
For our listeners, yes or no, do we want to see Dave Warner in a David Lee Roth wig for the Rock Valley Festival?
That I would do.
assless chaps.
Yeah. No, I don't want to see that.
No.
Our viewers might enjoy it.
No.
No. Yeah, I can see him being sanctioned by the mayor real soon.
Listen, what you guys do at home is none of my business.
Yeah.
Well, hey, you never know. By 8 o'clock over there, and
Yeah,
hey, the beer's been flowing.
This is going to be fun.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be out of control. Any other favorite bands?
No, that's it.
No, really? No more Van Halen?
I have a lot of favorite bands.
Yeah.
Eric Clapton was fantastic. I mean, pretty much pick any classic rock band out of the 70s and 80s, hair bands, anything. And, they all had an influence on music that I love and promoting music now.
Yeah, and this is kind of what's led to this, all the festivals and basically having bands every night, because it really is. It's almost like reliving like the 70s, 80s, even into the 90s, because back then you could go to pretty much any bar in this area and there would be a band playing somewhere. And now you don't see that so much. So I mean, it's great that the Rock Valley's doing that.
Yeah, it's not as kind. We're very fortunate that we have the space to do it. That we have so many great people that have come and helped us. We lost a friend of ours last year, Bud Edwards, who was very involved in helping us get our tweak our sound, get our lighting program improved, and my friend Steve Talaba has helped us out quite a bit with lighting and sound as well as construction of our stage and things. Jeff Mosier is another one who's helped us out with some electrical hookups for the bands, all for the purpose of improving the presentation to our customers, to our guests. So.
Right. Well, I'll tell you, you guys do one heck of a job. I mean, it seems like every time you go in there, you've done some kind of improvement to the place or something's changed. So it's always a different experience every time you come in the Rock Valley.
Another one that comes to mind, Mike Catalina from the band Critical Path. They just played at our place last week and had a hell of a show. Oh, my God, it was amazing. Mike has been instrumental in helping us out with a lot of stuff as well. So, I mean, there's so many people that have helped us out along the way. I don't want to leave anyone out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and really when it comes to music, if you want to find music on a regular basis here, Rock Valley Brewing, we can count on it on Saturday nights.
Every Saturday night at 7.
Yeah. Never mind. Just the regular, kind of features like this. You've got another one coming up. I don't know if you want to mention it ahead of time in October, which is you're going to go country on us.
Yeehaw, Dave.
Yeah.
That's what Dave's going to be there.
That's what I'm all fired about.
Chaps.
So, yeah, chaps.
He'll be over there in chat.
I'll do that.
He'll probably ride a horse down. What are you talking about?
Well, not a cowboy. But
We've had them. We've had horses in the bar.
You
You have. Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's awesome. And now that the weather is warming up, when is the big room going to open up?
Soon.
It's going to be 70 on Saturday, Mike. I mean, it's going to rain.
That's what everybody's been. Wait till the big room opens.
It has to be
the Brick Bar is great.
warm. Yeah.
It's just, but when that's where the bands obviously are in the big room.
That's our favorite place to be. Once we get some consistently warm weather, then we can get that opened up. We don't want people to freeze. So.
Well, I mean, there's that. If you get enough Rock Valley product, you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
And just out of curiosity, I mean, kind of shifting gears away from the music, but more towards the brewery end of it. So, I mean, obviously you have several different varieties. Take us through that process a little bit because, I mean, obviously you have a perishable product, so you have to you can't just brew a whole ton of it and just leave it sitting around.
No.
How does that process work?
I would say that's the most challenging part of owning a brewery is trying to determine what people are going to drink, how much of it they're going to drink, and if it will be accepted. So there's been a few beers that we brewed that were a little more on the experimental side. One comes to mind. It was a maple beer, maple syrup beer or something like that. Didn't come out quite as planned.
Which on the surface sounds great, but
that does sound great. Yeah, but it didn't fly. Why?
It was a smoked bacon beer. I used a smoked malt in it. And
anything with bacon works.
It had some fans. It had some people that didn't care for it too. One person described it as tasting like a house fire in St. Johnsville.
Wow.
But we had others that drank multiple glasses, so I took that to assume they enjoyed it. There's a rim shot.
I wonder if there's a difference between tasting like a house fire in St. Johnsville or Little Falls or whatever. It's kind of wow. Okay.
That was pretty harsh.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, whatever. You can't expect home runs all the time.
Yeah.
So. But then we've had other beers like our strawberry rhubarb is a cult favorite.
It's excellent.
We
It is.
We took
I'll vouch for that one
time, and we had a mutiny, so we had to bring it back. And then we've recently introduced some new spring flavors. We have a cherry wheat. It's very popular. I'll be bringing back our pale ale here shortly. Hopefully today, if I can get it in kegs. So.
Yeah, you threw me a curveball when I was there Friday night because I saw the strawberry rhubarb. I'm like, oh, there it is. And then I said cherry wheat. I'm like, oh, man. I'm like, now I got to pick. I'm like,
try them both.
Well, don't worry about it. The experimenting was going rather well.
That's why it gives you a flight there.
Yeah, life is short.
No, I don't go with a flight.
Easily.
No.
Go big or go home. I mean, come on, Listen, I have full faith because I know whatever I get a full glass of, it's going to be excellent.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I don't have to worry about it.
You're a good liar.
Oh, seriously.
He's being serious. He would tell you.
Yeah, no kidding, right? And so not only do you have it in the kegs, but you have some of your product in the cans.
We did some canning last year. We did a few different batches. We haven't canned anything yet this year. There's been some logistic issues we're working out with our canner. Right. Also, demand for cans has been kind of soft lately.
Really?
So we're still doing some growlers and the smaller squeakers to go. We're going to look at some different options with canning for the future here.
Yeah, because I think that once you get used to a product being like a draft or even like in a growler, there's just that different taste when it comes out of a can. It's
fresher.
Yeah, exactly.
Once you package a product, it's difficult to get that off the tap freshness with it. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's for sure. And I mean,
would you end up brewing differently for that if you knew there was there's shelf life and all these other issues like that? Would that cause you to specifically brew something for cans if you could find the taste that worked in there?
We definitely have to modify our approach when we're canning from a production standpoint.
Right.
Really, I prefer to serve it fresh.
Yeah.
It tastes better fresh. you get the full experience. I mean, that's part of the reason why we never went to distribution, because when you're a beer can sitting on a shelf in a grocery store or a convenience store, you're one of a million cans in there, and
right.
You could have the greatest beer in the world, but if your label sucks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nobody's taking that home.
And you have no control over it either.
No.
Because once it gets out onto that shelf, I mean, if somebody's not rotating
If
the beer
it sits there
properly,
too long, if it's served warm.
if it fell off the shelf, it's got a big dent, it didn't break, and they throw it back on. Well, who's going to come and want to buy a dented can? Right?
And if it sits there too long and begins to stale, now someone gets a false impression of what we do.
Right.
So I would rather have people come in, have our staff or myself greet them with a hello, get to know them a little bit, find out where they're from. We've made so many friends that way. And they get the full experience of not only Rock Valley Brewing, but Little Falls and what we have to offer and our hospitality to people from out of the area.
Yeah, that's just the way to go, and that's what makes you guys so special and unique. It's really a wonderful setup over there. So, other than the festival coming up here soon, anything else that we need to be appraised of as to what's going to happen at the brewery this summer?
There's a few things coming up. We do events throughout the year. We have a crafting event coming up tomorrow. We have some comedy shows planned for this year. You're giving me a surprised look, Dave.
I didn't know about that.
Well, he was supposed to have been included in the lineup. That's why.
Sorry. You can find all of our events on
I'll wear
Facebook.
my chaps tomorrow.
Yeah, Facebook or Instagram under the event. The chaps.
You're never going to get that visual out of your head now. You know that, right?
No.
You're going to go home tonight and they're going to be like, well, why do you look like you're sick? Oh, never mind.
It was the beer.
I can't unsee it.
Claw my mouth out with soap.
Give me the gasoline.
But anyway, yes, different events. We have a number of craft events that we do throughout the year. Paint and sips, comedy shows, along with the live music, and occasionally we do music on a Friday night as well. We have only so many weekends that we can do music.
Sure.
So with all the bands, all the musicians that have reached out to us, there's so much talent here in the Mohawk Valley and beyond. And sometimes we get a little bit of hate mail. Why didn't you hire my band? Why didn't you have us come play? We get 52 weekends. And in the wintertime, we have to scale things back to our smaller area. So, there's only so many bands that we can hire. I wish I could wave a magic wand and hire every one of them, but it just doesn't work out that way.
I mean, there is a real demand for music. I mean, that's one of the common themes I hear is that we don't have enough music that you can go to in the valley. Hear that over and over again. So, you doing this on a regular basis, at least there's some place they can count on.
We try.
Yeah.
and I have to give kudos to my staff too. They always perform wonderfully, especially on band nights when we're very busy. They do a bang up job. They're awesome. I really couldn't do it without them. And my wife for the backup too.
Well, there's there's that.
She's always playing the game behind the scenes.
Right. So. She does a fantastic job too.
She's 8-string, isn't she?
Yeah. She's 12-string.
And you can also rent the brewery if you have an event, correct?
Yes, we have a number of rentals for spring and summertime already booked out. We have a lot of wedding parties there, Jack and Jill's, birthdays, corporate events. So we do a number of things there. We have our smaller brick tap room, which holds roughly 50 people, which is very comfortable and can be very private. Or there is the option to rent the entire brewery or just the larger tap room side. So, but you can just reach out to us for details on that and pricing, and we'll walk you through it.
So just stop down at the brewery or
stop down, give us a call, shoot us an email, message on Facebook.
Okay,
we'll get
what's
back
the phone number?
315-508-5313.
Awesome. So lots of fantastic things going on down at the Rock Valley, and
we're always busy.
And now we're really starting to crank up and get ready here. Just so everybody knows, what are your exact hours of operation?
So right now we're running on Friday, Saturday, Sunday until the weather warms up. Then we'll add Thursday. Excuse me. Friday is 3 to 10. Saturday is noon to 10. Sunday is noon to 5.
Awesome.
And I say 10 o'clock, but very, very rarely do we kick anyone out that's there. So, we have, when the bands end at 10 o'clock on Saturday nights, sometimes we'll have people file right out. stick around.
Yeah.
Have another beer.
Yeah.
You know, my kids need shoes.
Yeah, there you go, right?
No, Mama needs a new pair of shoes. Yeah.
Shoes are expensive nowadays.
Yeah.
Have a couple beers.
Papa could use a truck, too.
Yeah.
You see what I drive? That thing's a heap.
Yeah, that's true. It's getting kind of long in the tooth there.
Oh, it's bad.
Kind of looking like the driver.
Yeah.
Oh,
Chaps.
Touche.
Yeah. Okay, that's enough of that. Well, Mike, thank you for taking the time to come down here and talk to us about this because, like I said, you're a very busy guy, obviously.
Yeah.
And you got like I said, once again, the Rock Valley Music Festival coming up May 17th, right down at the Rock Valley Brewing Company. Best of luck. We know it's going to be awesome, and we can't wait to be there.
Well, gentlemen, thank you for having me on the show today.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it, and we'll let you get back to what you were doing.
Who knows?
Yeah, well, maybe not. Let's continue the show. But anyway, that's all the time we got. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.